Today I had the most profound meditation, maybe of my life. And it finally gave me clarity as to why I'm in Bali. Initially, I thought I didn't know I was coming to Bali. I just knew I needed to make a change. I needed to do something different in this moment in my life. And making this leap of faith to come to Bali was just, I don't know, things kept leading me here. And today with this meditation, it's like that last puzzle piece finally clicked into place where I'm like, oh, that's why I'm here. So the meditation I did today was one of Dr. Joe Dispenza's meditations, and it's the blessings of the energy centers. And today I made a decision. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm going to listen to the intro before I do the meditation because the intro is like 20 minutes. And usually I don't do that. But today I was like, oh, I have the time. I should do it. The intro blew my mind. So, what Dr. Joe Dispenza is really good at doing is explaining how like energy works, how it affects us, and he explains it scientifically. So it's not just like, these, what am I trying to say? These miracles. Like he actually explains it to make sense of like, oh, that's why that happened and how it happened and blah, 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 blah. So in this introduction, he talks about how our bodies have energy centers, and they're basically nerve bundles in different parts of our body. Other modalities call these chakras. So essentially, we have 7 that run through like the middle of our body. So he talks about them as nerve bundles. And when your nervous system is stressed or out of alignment, that means our nerve bundles are stressed and out of alignment, and they're not receiving the signals they need to receive in order to really like flow, like keep the messages from different parts of our body flowing to our brain and back down and all that stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay. Like, so his explanation of chakras was different from how it's been explained to me before. And then he goes on to explain how when they're out of alignment, those bundles, those energy centers start pulling energy from outside. So we all have this energy around us. And when we're not aligned, those energy centers pull the energy from outside of us and actually convert that energy to matter. And when our bodies are more matter than energy, we decay faster because matter decays, whereas energy doesn't decay. And I was like, whoa, this explains so much because I've heard of people talking about how, they looked 50, but they were only 40. And it's because, they were so stressed and they were doing all this stuff and they were totally out of alignment. And then once they started like meditating or doing yoga, they got back into alignment, and now they look 40 or even 30. Like they look younger than they did because those energy centers are now in flow and they're releasing, and they're not pulling matter into our body that can decay. So this was just one of those moments where I was like, light bulb, because anytime in my life that I've been super stressed, that like everything's out of whack, total chaos, I've always gained weight. And now, so in my brain, how he explains it, I'm like, oh, it makes sense. When my energy centers are out of alignment, they're pulling energy from the outside and I become more matter. I put on weight. I actually like physically show this matter that these energy centers are putting on me. And then other times when I've lessened the stress, I start to take care of myself, I've lost the weight. So that was a super amazing moment that just like everything clicked again. And the other thing he explained too was how, because this is what I never really understood about like, okay, how do our bodies, how does like the energy relate to our bodies? Basically, um, atoms and molecules, atoms attached to molecules, molecules attached to cells. Our body is made of like billions of cells. Those cells turn into tissue, tissue turns into organs, not organ the state, organs. And it's just getting dark, so I keep checking the screen. And so that's how like the energy moves, right? That's how it flows. And I was like, oh my God, finally, like someone explained it where it's like how our physical bodies and energy are like one and the same, right? And how those energy, so those atoms, molecules, cells move from those energy bundles throughout our body, sending messages, all that stuff. And then depending on the messages they're sending is how like our life is going to look on the outside. And so all of that led me to that puzzle piece clicking into place because I didn't come to Bali to escape. I'm not here for a vacation. I knew I needed to come here. I knew I needed to be here for some reason. I thought it was just to have more time, space, energy to create and be more productive, meet people. But I think what's really happening is that I need to get back in alignment with my energy centers, with my body, with my mind. Like I need to be flowing again. I need everything inside of me to be working correctly so that everything outside of me will reflect that. And I can't believe that because I've talked about this uh to friends, to family, like, I've had low energy. I don't, I'm not feeling great about my body right now. Like, so I've kind of said all those things, like, it's not working, it's not flowing. And now I'm finally realizing, like, yeah, I'm out of alignment. So yeah, that's what I realize is this whole trip is not trip. This whole experience is about is to be more aligned so that my energy can be, whole again and functioning and flowing. And then yeah, I can give more and receive more because the last, I don't know, 20 years, I feel like I've been so out of alignment. I've been so stressed, working multiple jobs and not like my environment, my life was not reflecting what I wanted. And so this is a way for me to change myself so that my environment will reflect that back to me. So, oh, that's my story for today. I'll see you tomorrow.